Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a dollar tree in Minecraft for all of your city building needs. In this tutorial, not only will I show you how to make the entire outside of the build, but I will also show you how to make the entire inside as well. Fun fact, I'm hidden somewhere in the intro of this video. Leave a comment letting me know if, where and when you spotted me. The first person to leave a comment getting it right will have that comment pinned. This is the amount of space required to make the build, a 28 block wide by 38 block long area as represented by this very handy grid on the screen. To find the starting position, begin at the front left hand corner of the grid, count backwards, find the 11th block, and just to the right of that is where we will begin. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Begin the build by placing 4 bricks in a row on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend forwards by 1, and then right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend both forwards and backwards. Then place 2 glass block to the right of the back block. 1, 2. Leave a gap of 1, place a glass pane, and then place 2 glass block. 1, 2. Place a brick, and then extend forwards by 2. 1, 2. Then extend the middle brick to the right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend backwards by 1, and then right by 3. 1, 2, 3. Extend backwards by 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Extend inwards by 1. And then place 4 stone brick stairs, extending this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place a brick on the end, extend forwards, and then right. Then extend all the way across the back of the build, with the goal of lining up with the front of the build. Once you've done that, we can extend all the way to the front of the build. Next, we will remove all of the grass from inside of the build. We will also remove it from underneath the glass blocks as well. Next, we will replace the entire back row with smooth stone. We will then place 4 rows of cyan terracotta in front of the smooth stone, followed by 1 more row of smooth stone. Then we will make the entire rest of the floor grey concrete powder. Next, we will focus on the front of the build. Begin by placing a smooth sandstone here, with 3 bricks on top, and then this is tricky to do, but we want an upside down brick stairs above. We can extend these blocks each to the right by 2, and then directly to the right we will place a row of smooth sandstone extending up to the upside down stair. We will then place another row of smooth sandstone in front. That's a bit of a tongue twister for me. And then on top of this we will add another layer of smooth sandstone with smooth sandstone stairs, upside down ones, extending all the way around the top. Then at the base we will place 1, 2, 3, 4 glass pane extending to the right, with a smooth sandstone to the right of that, and then to the right of this 6 bricks extending up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can extend these bricks both backwards and forwards a row. We then want to extend the smooth sandstone to equal the height of the bricks. We can join it across to the left, but we also want to extend the smooth sandstone forwards like this and place our upside down stairs in front, just like so. Then we will place another row of glass pane on top of our glass, smooth sandstone on top of that, green concrete on top of that, and then smooth sandstone to fill in this gap. Then we will place a layer of brick wall in front of our bricks just off to the right, and before we continue, we are going to apply everything that we have done on this left side onto the right side. So we'll start off in the same place. Here we will place a smooth sandstone with 3 bricks on top. 1, 2, 3. On top of this, we will place an upside down brick stair. We will then extend each one of these blocks to the left by 2. We can then place a layer of smooth sandstone directly to the left and extend upwards. We will then extend the smooth sandstone forwards, and we will place upside down smooth sandstone stairs all the way around the top block. I didn't stutter that time. Then at the base we will place 4 glass pane extending left. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the opposite side of this, a row of smooth sandstone that equals the height of the previous. We will extend it all the way across to the right, and we'll just add a row behind like this. Then we will place upside down smooth sandstone stairs just across the top here, and we will raise up the bricks that are to the left to equal the height of everything else. We can then add another layer of glass pane on top of our glass pane, followed by a layer of smooth sandstone, green concrete, and smooth sandstone, just like so. Then we are going to add a layer of brick wall in front of our bricks. Next, we will place string across the top of our windows, with green carpet on top of the string. We would of course do this to both sides. Next, let's focus on the entrance. To begin, we will place an additional layer of glass on top of our pre-existing glass, with a layer of green concrete on top of that, which we will extend forwards by 2 rows. We will then place smooth sandstone extending up on top of the green concrete until it is as high as the bricks to the left and right. We will then place a smooth sandstone on top of each row of brick wall, with a smooth sandstone slab extending outwards to the side. We will then extend smooth sandstone slabs up like this until we have a gap of 2 in between, and then we will join together left to right. We will then fill this small gap in using smooth sandstone to give us this. We will then extend the green concrete 1 row forwards. Then we are going to remove these grass blocks from in between the entrance, just like this, and we will place bricks underneath the glass, and we will place smooth stone, just like so. Then we will remove 3 rows of grass starting here, so like 1, 2, 3, extending here, and we will remove these rows extending left and right. And we will focus on the rest of the build later, but for now I destroyed a string. But for now, we will just remove the grass at the front of the build. And we will replace all of that with smooth stone. And I just have to repair that window where I accidentally destroyed it. Next, we will place a bit of green carpet at the entrance, so from here to here, and we will extend that one row forward. We will also add a bin in the form of a cauldron and spruce trapdoor here. And then next, we want to add a bamboo fence here and here. And we will leave a gap of 2, and we will continue to place fence until we can't anymore. And this applies to both sides. There we go. Then we will remove all of the grass and grid from in front of the build. Next, we will place a row of smooth stone on the left side here and the right. We will also extend these 4 smooth sandstone, or rather smooth stone blocks, in between these 2 pair of bamboo fence. So we have a pavement that just extends all the way to the actual entrance and just one either side of where the car parking spaces are going to be. By the way, we are now going to make some car parking spaces. Begin by placing 1, 2, 3 grey concrete in this position, with a white concrete to the right, 3 more grey, white concrete, 3 grey. And we will extend each one of these blocks all the way to the edge of the grid. Or where the grid used to be. Then we will place yellow carpet at the top of these spaces. And then we can come onto this opposite side here and do the same. So 3 grey concrete, followed by a white concrete, extending across to the right. Once we have each one of these spaces, we can just extend each one of the concrete blocks all the way to the edge here. And then yellow carpet across the top to give us this. You know what, guys? Let's do it. Let's make the sign. Throw down a limb, open it up, place a white banner in there with green dye. We have to make some letters, the first of which is D. So apply the pale sinister pattern, put white dye in there and apply the lozenge pattern, green dye back in there, apply the chief, base and pale dexter pattern. That is D. Next is O. This is the pale dexter pattern, pale sinister, chief and base. Next is L. This is pale dexter, base. Next is A. This is pale dexter, pale sinister, chief and fess. Next is R. This is pale dexter, chief and bend. Next is T. This is chief and then pale. Next is E. This is chief, fess, base, and then pale dexter. And with these banners, we can come all the way to this position and place D, O, L, L, A, R, and then here we will place T, R, E, E. Just like this. Dollar Tree. Next, we are going to move around to the right side of the build, where we will place an additional 2 rows of stone bricks on top of our stone bricks. We then want to move all the way over to here, and we need to create a back door by leaving a gap of 2, remove this block, replace it with smooth stone, and stick a spruce door here. Then, on this side of the build, we will place 1, 2, 3 smooth sandstone, followed by 2 glass pane, and we will add another row of glass pane on top. Now, I think is a good time to remove the rest of the grid. There should just be one row that kind of just orbits the entire build. Oh, and here too. So, we want to place smooth stone almost all the way around here. The only exception is where we have this garage door. We want to place some cyan terracotta for a road. but everywhere else, smooth stone. Next, we are going to place a layer of smooth sandstone on top of our bricks. Then we will place 3 layers, 1, 2, 3, of bricks on top of the smooth sandstone. Oh, we will also extend the bricks across the top of the garage for this layer. And then a row of upside down brick stairs on top. Which is proving difficult to place. Next, we are going to extend our smooth sandstone stairs here backwards by 2. 1, 2. And then we will extend these across, and we will line up with these bricks. We then want to extend the bricks until they just extend one row further backwards than the stairs. We can extend across and join here, but we then want to do the same with these smooth sandstone stairs, so we'll extend back 2, and then we will extend here. And then we'll place some smooth sandstone in these empty spaces. We will then extend the smooth sandstone for the entrance backwards as well. We just want to overhang the back of the build by 1 row, just like this. And we want to join everything together, just how it looks on the front, so something like this. And I am considering that, no, we'll fill the back of this in with bricks, I suppose. Although, no, it makes more sense to fill it in with smooth sandstone, so we're just going to quickly replace those bricks with smooth sandstone, but it's not really a big change. And then we can fill the center of this in, like so. Here, then the slabs. Here. Perfect. Next, and this is a rather minor detail, we will place green carpet on top of this upside down stairs section, just off to the left and the right. Then we are going to fill the entire roof in using block of iron, which, and I've only just realised this, sounds very musical. With the roof filled in, we have officially completed the outside of the build, which means it's now time to head inside and work on the interior. Step 1. Let's make some shelves. Come all the way over to the front left hand corner of the build. Leave a gap of 2, moving across this wall, 1, 2, and then place 4 pale oak shelves, 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, and then place 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, and then place a scaffolding, bookshelf, and stack the bookshelf a couple of rows high. We will then place a brick behind, like this, a spruce door here, and then a brick. We will come back to this a little bit later. For now, we want to stack another layer of pale oak shelves on top of our pale oak shelves. We then want to leave a gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, and opposite our pale oak shelves, we want to stack some bookshelves. 2 rows high, like this. That is going insane. There we go. Just save that shelf. We then want to leave another gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then place another set of bookshelves that are, once again, 2 rows high, just like this. In addition to this, we want to take the middle 2 blocks of the shelf, leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, and then place a 2 by 2 square of bookshelves parallel to said shelves. We are then going to apply pale oak shelves to our bookshelves. So the only place we are not doing this is here to the little 2 by 2 square that is on the ground, but everywhere else. Then we can stick some green carpet on top of the bookshelves, just like so, and that is looking pretty good. Next, we are going to head all the way back to our door here, and we want to place an additional 4 bricks extending right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place a smooth quartz block and extend it forwards 1, 2. We then want to place 2 glass pane extending right 1, 2, and then a smooth quartz, 2 glass, smooth quartz, 2 glass, smooth quartz, 2 glass, smooth quartz, which we will extend backwards 1, 2. We then want to place a row of bricks extending across to the right. We then want to place a light grey concrete here in this position with 2 on top, just like so. Next, we are going to extend our smooth quartz blocks up by 2 rows and the middle ones backwards by 2 rows as well. So we want to stack them back and high. We also want to fill the backs of them in using smooth quartz. And remove the floor inside of these and replace it with a block of iron. Just like so. So I'm going to add an additional glass pane onto one side of these. Sea lanterns at the top with blue concrete in front. Then smooth quartz slabs across the top of the blue concrete and the smooth quartz, like so. Iron bar here, 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 and here, just like this. Next, we are going to add a layer of smooth sandstone on top of all of these bricks here. And we are going to stack bricks on top of the sandstone and the smooth quartz, wherever, to basically just fill in this back wall. So we want to have something which should look like that. Now that I look at it, I'm also thinking that maybe we remove this little portion of the wall and replace it with light grey, just like so. And then we can place some bookshelves just across the top here. And I'm also just going to extend the smooth quartz slabs an additional row back like this, so just to create a nice bit of depth. Maybe just a row of smooth stone slabs across the top here would look nice, because I quite like the sort of depth effect that we have going on here. I also want to add some lights as well. This is done by placing smooth stone slabs above the ends of our bookshelves, with end rods in between them to go for that old school tube lighting that everybody knows and loves. So above each set of shelves we will do this. So we will have 4 lights in total, and we want to mirror this onto the opposite side. So it starts here at the edge of the window, and that means there's a gap of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a gap of 8 in between them, so you can count that out if you want to. And there is also then a gap of 3 in between each individual light. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. So with the smooth stone slabs placed, we can add the end rods in between. That will give us this, and this will keep everything sufficiently lit. Next, we will place end rods here underneath these bookshelves. In addition to this, we want to leave a gap of 1 and place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 bookshelves extending across this wall, and we want to stack another row on top. Leave a gap, place a scaffolding or 2, and then next to that a couple of rows of bookshelves, something like that will do just fine. Then a brick, light grey concrete, brick, and then we leave a gap, and then we place 2 rows, or rather 3 rows, of smooth quartz block with polished diorite on top, just like this. Next, we can remove these blocks next to the window. This makes things a little bit more symmetrical. And not only that, we want to leave a gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we can place a row of smooth quartz that is opposite and the same width as the window space. We can even stick a row of polished diorite slab on top. A light grey concrete both here and here, and then we'll just leave it at that for now. Whilst we're also here, we can stack 2 pale oak shelves here and here. Then we can move to this set of bookshelves, leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, and then place 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 bookshelves extending this way, and then a gap of 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 bookshelves. We can stack them 2 rows high. We can place pale oak shelves either side of these, and then we can stack green carpet on top of the bookshelves. Then, turning our attention to here, we want to take the 2 middle blocks, leave a gap of 2, so 1, 2, and then we want to place a brown wall here, green wall here, and then behind them the opposite terracotta, so a lime terracotta here, brown terracotta here, stack pale oak shelves here across the back, and then we can clad this with spruce trapdoors, just like so. Next, leave a gap of 2 from the edge of the shelf, so 1, 2, and place an andesite wall on the ground with an iron bar on top and a black candle on top of that. We will then place item frames all the way around both the wall and the iron bar. We will then leave a gap of 2, 1, 2 from the wall, and then we will place the exact same thing moving this way. Then we are going to move over here, and we will place a row of black concrete extending from these freezers all the way across, and we'll just leave a gap of 1 from the door and place lecterns in front of and on top of the black concrete like this. Then we will place item frames in front of and above our lecterns, just like so, with plant parts on top of the lecterns. It might be easier to get a bit of a higher position for this top set. That's perfect. And I also want... honestly, that painting is just fine. I just want a large painting above these. And whilst we're at it, we can have a bunch of paintings just above the shelf area in general. So just above all these shelves. Now, preferably, these are all a bit different. So we can mix some 1x1s, and I don't think that we've got any repeats in here at all except for that flower. And now we don't have any repeats whatsoever, and that looks pretty good. Now, beyond this, we are going to place some cauldrons in front of these windows. So it doesn't matter how many, but you just want to stick a pale oak fence gate behind the end cauldron. And then we can just replace that grey concrete powder. And as a matter of fact, I've just realised we haven't adjusted this side. So we have to remove that corner. You can stick an extra cauldron there now. And that looks pretty good. And we should also remove these blocks and place some block of iron. Now, from the outside, you will be able to see that, but it's a very, very minor detail, and if it does bother you, simply replace it with the smooth sandstone, and then you'll just have to like place something underneath here to cover that up. But it's a really, really small detail, and we can just fill this in with iron. And as a matter of fact, maybe we can just fill this entire section in with green concrete, and then we don't really have to do anything. But whilst we are in this general area, we also want to stack a couple of oak trapdoors here, left and right of the entrance, just like so. And we also want to place some paintings in the windows too, so it doesn't really matter which ones. Something like this will look fine. I think that I'll go for a 1x2 over here. So here, and then just like a 1x1. There we go, these just look like advertisements. And we also want to place paintings above our bookshelves on the sides of the build. So like wherever we can place them. So like here. And we also have a set over here that we can place as well. That is perfect. And we also want to add a couple of light grey banners here. And I think that we should actually reduce the size of this by 1 row. And we have to make the rest of this ATM by... I think that we're just going to extend the bricks all the way up to the ceiling. Light grey concrete here. Fill the top of this in. Painting here. Detector rail here, stone button here, and I think that we'll just label this literally just ATM. So I always like to like place a bunch of dashers, ATM, dashers underneath. That's perfect. If you want to continue the wall pattern, you certainly can. It's kind of a personal preference. So if you like the continuity, then you do, and if not, then I'm just going to have this, I do think. So next, we are going to focus on this area. So I'm just going to place the detector rails here, just like so. Next, we will place a polished deep slate slab here and here, with an item frame here and here. We also want a 1x1 painting here and here. We also have to make a banner by placing a white banner with some light grey dye in the limb, and we can apply the bourgeois pattern, and we can then place it in front of the light grey concretes. Then we are going to leave a gap of 2 from this light grey concrete, so 1, 2, and then we will place 1, 2, smooth sandstone this way, and then extend left, 1, 2, and then 2 birch shells stacked on top of each other, and 2 diorite wall here. We will then place a beacon here, 2 black carpet here, and then a detector rail here, polished black stone stair here, then spruce fence here, spruce pressure plate here, polished deep slate slab here, pale oak sign here, chest behind it, and also we want to place chests in these item frames. I actually forgot that earlier. Next, I am going to remove the grey concrete powder from either side of all of our bookshelves or aisles or shelving units, whatever you want to call it really. And I'm going to then replace it with cyan terracotta, so just to add a bit more of an interesting texture to the floor. We could even add some green carpet in front of this till area here. And we can do the same with these, with the self-serve, although I do believe that we have to actually build the wall into the floor. And we can place cyan terracotta here and here as well. Maybe we could even do it behind our till area too, just to change things up a little bit. We also have to add some iron trapdoors into the fridge/freezers with item frames stacked on top of all but one set of iron trapdoors. And also, just to shape the room a little bit, I'm going to add upside down brick stairs underneath the wall, so underneath the ceiling on the left and right side of the build, and just those sides. I did also consider this, and you can tell me what you think. We can remove in between these shelves and either side of the shelves on this side of the build. Add bricks to the floor, and then we can actually add some glass pane, so we can have some additional windows if you do so choose. And it just kind of like open things up a little bit, which I kind of like. And we can even add it a little bit on this side, so there's a little bit less room to do it, but we can definitely add it. And it might improve things a little bit, so we can have one there. And we could even just have like a single here if we wanted to. I don't think that that's a terrible idea. Just adds a little bit more natural light into the place. Maybe we could even... Nah, we won't have one here. Now, we do have more things to do, but I think before we progress, we are going to head into the warehouse. And in the warehouse, we just have to adjust the garage door a little bit. We can place some stone brick wall left and right of it with an iron bar above, just like so. I do also think that it could look good to maybe have brick stairs here, like this. We also have to seal up this back wall, so we can place a row of bricks directly behind the smooth stone layer, and we can kind of extend back and then in and connect to here. Alternatively, we could kind of turn this into kind of like a corridor like this, and we can just add some smooth sandstone here. And then we can just add bricks on top to just continue the theme of the wall. And once again, kind of like box in the top, just like so. So it feels a bit more like a hallway or a corridor rather than just like a door that opens directly into the warehouse, although it doesn't really matter as long as you're happy with the vibe. And we can add a couple of smooth stone, just like this. Maybe we'll even replace this as well. We'll grab the door later on. And we have to add a bunch of shelves too. So the shelves are going to be right here. And we're just going to... Actually, we'll start here. So the shelves are 3 spruce trapdoors high. Just like this. Here. Bookshelf. Chest. And then we can just place spruce trapdoors on top. So there's a couple of ways to do these shelves. You can do it this way. Or you can make the same thing again. So we'll just make these sides. And this time, you can make it so that we can use the top shelf instead of the bottom. So here, you can place blocks on the bottom shelf, but here, you can place blocks on the top. So you can have a mix of these, you can have one or the other, you can have all the same, it doesn't really matter. But we are going to have a set of 4 on both sides of the warehouse. And then once you've made your 4, you can just move on to the opposite wall. Although I've managed to do it in the wrong place on this side. So now that we have a set of 4 just on each side like this, I am just going to grab some scaffolding and place some here with maybe like a chisel bookshelf here, and I'll have a couple of rows of bookshelves just like this here, maybe just like a chest, maybe even like a barrel or something next to it, just some random debris. And we can even have a similar thing here, just maybe like a couple of scaffolding or something like that, just to kind of like take up the space. Oh, and we should also replace the door as well. Next, we are going to fill this flower display in. By the way, this is a flower display. I'm going to start by adding different flowers to all of these item frames, and then corresponding flowers to each of the flower pots, which looks good. Then moving over to the fridge/freezers, I'm going to add a bunch of candles inside of this one, and just also a couple of item frames behind with some milk buckets in the item frames. And then I'm going to fill all of the other item frames in the freezers in with just different food items. And now that that's done, we can just seal up each one of these. We can then move over to here, where we have this little mini clothing section, and we can just add some banners here. We could even just add like an armor stand here in this position, maybe just tilt it off to the side slightly. Next, let's place a pale oak shelf here above this mannequin, and we can just outfit it with different helmets. Then we are going to head over here, and we are going to add a couple of just random heads onto this display. And we will stock the shelves behind it with different heads and scores, just like so. Don't ask me why, but I'm going to fill all of these item frames in with different coral. I think mostly because they're kind of like interesting looking and nice and colourful, so it's kind of just a pleasant thing to have in this display. Next, we are going to add some potions and biscuits to the self-checkout area, so you can vary the potions and biscuits or whatever treats you may want to place in the bookshelves, but regardless, I'm going to do a similar thing here as well. I guess I've messed this up now, but maybe I'll just make the biscuits on the top and then the drinks below for this one. And those, ladies and gentlemen, are the only bookshelves that I wanted specific items to be in. The rest of these can just be filled in with whatever you like. So I have just finished stocking all of my shelves, and whilst I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you copy what I have placed, you certainly can. So for these shelves, I have music discs, and these I just have some spawn eggs. On the opposite side, I have tables, and here torches. Here, I have a bunch of bundles, a bundle of bundles if you will, and here books. On this set, candles. Here, banners. On the opposite side, we have a bunch of lanterns, and here, beds. And if we wander all the way over to here, I have a bunch of different food items, and here potions. Over here I just have a bunch of different clothing items, and the last ones I have, I believe that these are armor trim? Yeah, just different varieties of armor trim, they just look kinda cool. And here some splash potions. Bonus detail, we can actually fit a forklift in the warehouse. Now, I personally am just going to load the schematic for my forklift and paste it into my world. However, if you can't do that, have a look down below in the description. I will leave a link for the forklift down below. It's a really fast tutorial and it will improve the build. Now, we can actually either place it here, in front of the actual warehouse entrance. Maybe we could even increase the size of the entrance a little bit to accommodate the forklift. Or I was more so thinking that we could actually place it in here. Now, it is a little bit massive, but I do think that if we do place it like towards the very end here, And if need be, we can also just like remove a couple of the blocks from the top. Looks fairly nice in here if I do say so myself. And another option to add to the build next to the warehouse is a lorry, which once again, I am just going to load mine in. But I do in fact have a tutorial that I will once again link down below in the description. I'm going to place mine right about here, I would say. And that is the tutorial complete, ladies and gentlemen. However, this video is not over. We must now add Dollar Tree into our city. For the time being, I am going to place this in the new suburban suburbs, in storage next to the Dollar General, as this area is going to be getting revamped soon, and I would like this build and Dollar General to be a part of that. You may be interested in becoming a channel member. You can click the join button that will be somewhere on the screen right now. This does cost money and is a monthly subscription, but you do get some perks. The first of which is a download link for my city design world. This has every single build that I have placed in my city, arranged in order, and labelled. This perk also comes with schematics for the mods Lightmatica and World Edit, so you can easily reference and copy and paste these builds into your worlds in any way that you'd like. However, if you're not interested in any of that building business, the highest tier allows you to download the most current version of Mini-City. There are also some minor perks, including loyalty badges displayed next to your name whenever you comment something down below on my videos. Depending on how long you have been a channel member, you gain a more prestigious helmet, with the highly coveted gold builder's hat being the most valuable. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.